Yeah, definitely. The war on the Islamic State in North East Syria focused on destroying the political project of ISIS, but not and on addressing the issues that help ISIS to take over in 2014. So, with the consequences of the war, massive displacement, um, so many local disputes, and the model of governance wasn't formed based on what people need. It came like but after the Americans supported the SDF, establishing the SDF, and the SDF was in rush to defeat the Islamic State, but wasn't thinking of after the defeat how these forces could maintain a good relationship to the communities where they address their concerns and their demands. So we have seen after the collapse of the Islamic State in Beirut that the Islamic State is still operating, and the main reason is for the internationals. American specifically is not having a clear strategy, a long-term strategy that could bring sustainable stability to the region. So the main issue there, let's say, the area is unstable, and when it's unstable, ISIS can easily find a space to engage, recruit people, and launch attacks again. And now it's common to hear from people that the same scenario in Iraq is happening, where the jihadi group was defeated, and then after the Americans pulled out or hold on all the operations against this administration and let the local authority or the authority dealing with the community, it was the moment where the jihadi group could come back again. In 2014, you see they controlled parts in Syria and Iraq, and they established the caliphate. This is what people say, like the Islamic State will return back right after the Americans pulled out. Northeast is very big. You have the province of Hasaka, part of the province of Aleppo, Manbij, and some areas surrounding Manbij. You have Tabqa, most of the province of Raqqa, and half of Deir ez-Zor, let's say. And the situation in each area is different for the local dynamics and the political identity of people. You could say that it's stable and convenient in the Syrian standards, let's say, in all areas of Northeast except for the eastern part of Deir ez-Zor, which is close to the Iraqi border, which was a stronghold for the Islamic State from before. The main actor are the administration of Northeast, and you still have local actors playing a role in stability or the instability in the region. The military council, for instance, in Deir ez-Zor have a good and bad role based on which area they are in. ISIS is an actor, is there, but the weakest one is local, the local communities, and you have the spoilers, Iran, Russia, and regime, trying to destabilize these areas, trying to make the American presence there costly so they can pull out, and then it's easier for regime to take over. Well, this is the issue for the Americans, I think, and the administration of Northeast. Every authority or like international entity deals with the tribe based on a misunderstanding. Let's say they believe that the structure of tribe is still operating, where the notable or the general leader is influential and have a political. And the structure of the tribe has a political mission, and the leader, as I said, is influential among all the tribesmen. But this is not the case. The tribes are so fragmented, and because of the legacy of ISIS and Deir ez-Zor, for instance, in 2014, some tribes started with a reputation of being supportive of ISIS when other tribes suffered of ISIS brutality. And later on, when the area was liberated, these tribes are, we can say, two parties fighting each other and trying to take revenge of each other. And one notice on Deir ez-Zor, it's dominated by tribes, and there is the Agaidat Tribal Federation, which consists of multiple tribes. They used to always historically to act as one tribe, but since the Syrian uprising and later the war and ISIS, the federation is gone, and each tribe is acting as one tribe, thinking of their own concerns with many disputes with other neighboring tribes. And this is also how ISIS played on these disputes to establish the relationship with local communities in 2014, and nowadays they are playing on the same disputes and local dynamics to make a full resurgence. In my opinion, ISIS, because they are tribesmen at the end of the day, they belong to the region, they understand the logic, they have a different approach dealing with tribes. They never thought that you need to get a notable on board so you can get the tribe loyal. They had a different approach, like a down-top approach, where they make allies with individuals from the base and separate afterwards to the tribe. The opposite of what the Americans trying to do and what the administration is trying to do. Well, for resurgence, what ISIS needs? It needs people to fight, to implement, and it needs resources, it needs money, and a proper situation where they can engage and operate. For the human resources part, not all ISIS affiliates have been captured or killed. Many of them managed to flee the last enclave. Others made settlement with the local authority and joined the ranks of the SDF, and others just stayed home. So who knows if these people, like, this is one of the issues for local communities, saying that the SDF has ISIS fighters. But anyways, the people are there, like the affiliates, and they now recruiting new elements for the sources, financial one. They benefiting the oil. They pressuring the businessmen working in the trade of oil to pay money, otherwise they will be killed, as well as other businessmen, those who are working in smuggling of diesel to regime areas. And it happened that they reach out to people who collaborate to the administration in different sectors, asking them to pay money, and it looks like this is a way for atoning. You pay money, we won't target you. This is the way that we give you our forgiveness. And the least of what we calculate when we meet people in the eastern countryside of Deir ez-Zor, of like how much money ISIS is making on a monthly basis, it's a lot, $500,000 a month. Well, I'll start from the last part of your question, the international community. The international community, i.e. the Americans specifically, and a bit the European Union, after defeating ISIS, they focus on bringing stability through investing in hard stabilization activities, rehabilitation of schools, rehabilitation of water, irrigation stations. But because of the political positions of the administration in the United States, They want to pull out, so they lack a proper strategy or a long-term strategy. Their strategy is to keep partnering with the SDF to eliminate ISIS, but this was an issue with another regional actor, which is Turkey. There is a big issue. Turkey perceived the administration of North East as a national security threat. And the spoilers, Russia, Iran, and regime want to take over and bring all these territories back to the way it was pre-2011. And this is the main reason of instability. People are so afraid. In some communities in Northeast, for instance, people are afraid of engaging with the administration of Northeast because they're afraid of the regime returning back. And for others, they would like to support ISIS because there are Iranians on the other side or regime. And for some people, like the administration of Northeast has a serious issue with Turkey, and they are frustrated with the way that the administration is only focusing on Turkey, on the battles that Turkey have made with its proxies, and not mentioning what's going on in Idlib and other areas. So this whole dynamics make the situation unstable, and this is where this jihadi group can find a space to operate and engage with new elements. As I said, they recruiting like people for money and normalizing their presence, let's say.